M0FXB, welcome back to my videos on the Quasum M7 DMR analog UHF radio. So you can see it there, it is working. If I unplug the cable, quite distinctive in its style, very small. If you look at the 878, it's a small device, DMR UHF. Right, so in this video we're going to have a look at the programming software. So I've just plugged my Bofun cable into it. Let's just bring this forward so you can see me. Bofun cable into the side, the twin pin connector there. It is USB-C charging, but not programmable. And then we've opened up the software, and I'll put a link in for that. You just literally just click it and download it, and it opens. Now I find that you have to write to the radio first before you can do anything. Yeah. So what you do is this opens up, then you go setting, go to com set, choose your com. So I'm 3. Look, if we right click on the device manager, it's a very bright screen on this device. But anyway, right click device manager, and you get this window appear, and then we go down on the left until we see ports, double click, and then my port number is CH340, it's COM3. So we go COM3, and that's it. Select it, and we have to write first. We have to, okay? Once we've written, then we can read. I'm also finding that when you save, you have to go. So if I just quickly read the radio now, click OK. See if we get an error. See the way that's giving me an error? There is someone talking. Let me just take it off. What I'll do is just exit a minute. Let's do the right thing, because I have saved the code plug. So we're going to go right. Click OK. It writes straight away. So that's the number one glitch, I would say. You have to do that. But as long as you've saved the file, it's not a problem. Go File, and you have to go Save As. If you don't save as, you get an error on my. Otherwise, the hotspot then, or the code plug then, pretty much looks like most code plugs. So at the top, you've got your general settings, call sign, DMR number, and I've noticed that mine keeps changing it from a 7 to a 9. I'll put 7 back in there. Okay, 2341437, which is what it should be. Channel display, I put in channel. Okay, but you can put in frequency. And then we've got a timeout here that you can change, and you can have a boot up picture. It is black and white, and some lines there that I've added. Basic information just tells you what radio you've got, although it's not showing it here. And then buttons, you can tell the buttons what you want them to do. Let's do that again. Buttons, and there, I've radio activate. It's got FM radio shortwave. I haven't tried that yet. Scan switch power level. Now, when it comes to channels, you just go down until you see the word, where is it? Channel information here. When you double click that, there's one channel there. Double click the top one, and you get the first channel, and you can select within that. You can select if you want analog or digital. You can put in the frequency, click the forward thing. It will, if it's simplex, it will just push it across. Otherwise, put your shift in if you're using a repeater. Get the repeater details from the keeper, and you can start adding in your contact, which are your talk groups that you're going to transmit on. Also your slot, your color code, and let's have a look now. When it transmits, say you want it to transmit on TG91. You go to TX contact, which you have to create yourself. I'm not seeing any bulk imports on this at the moment. So TX contact, look where in the DMR sections, and just look for that's not. Let's have a look in settings. I'll find it in a sec. I was just using it. Up here, digital contact. You have to add your talk groups. Again, I haven't been able to bulk import any. I've added them manually. 91, 9, 235, 26. You name them. The number is the most important thing. And obviously, group call for talk groups. Private is more for individual people and for commands. So then zone, you need to always put your channels that you've created in a zone. So I've created a few channels here. This one is digital. Let's go down to HubNet. That's analog. You choose analog and digital here. Any tones you put here. Look, CTCSS. Tone. If it's a repeater, you just put the shift in. Ignore this part that says digital. You don't need that. There's an analog repeater there, and then some blank channels there. And every time you click add here or delete, you can add one. See that? You can just add, and then you can just put in your parameters. So if you've used DMR, it's not super complicated. There's DTMF ones there, and there's a place where you can put in broadcast radio. So it's a small little device, yeah. And once you finish programming, you go program write to radio. And you need to, if you've got a hotspot, which most have, you just need to make sure you put the same frequency here into your hotspot and your DMR number, of course. You can register for DMR, just Google it, DMR registration. You do need a ham radio license. So overall, I think the CPS is okay. The main problem is we need to be able to import contacts if we want to see lots of contacts. I'm not seeing talk alias. Yeah, I'm not seeing talk alias. Maybe that will appear. I've also noticed that when you go into the menu, it locks the screen. You have to hold the X. Like so. And then once you're into X, you can see I can now go in and start changing some of the settings. Up and down arrow for the different channels. We just go menu, and then now as you go up and down, you got inbox, outbox, quick text. There is a settings one there as well. I've made a video on that. FM radio. Let's go back. That's like the X is almost like a back button. When you see the cog is when you go into settings. So, but this video is more about the CPS. I've made another video going through the settings. So that's it really. Let me know what you think. It's the Quasum made by Quansheng M7. Let me know what you think. Bye.